The Chelsea football fans, this up Chelsea TV, and I'm Ugo Amadi. So let's dive straight into the video. Now, in recent days, Raheem Sterling has been linked, or rather, supposedly offered to Napoli, and Fulham has also been reported to be interested in his signature, in his services. And I think they say that willing to pay, that is, Napoli are willing to pay £20 million for Raheem Sterling. He remains on their list. I think that's an interesting move, and I think he would actually do well in Napoli in the Serie A. But one question is, I have two words for you: Antonio Conte. Antonio Conte is someone that doesn't suffer any fools. Is someone that doesn't like any player slacking off. And one of the major, criticisms I had about Raheem Sterling before he went out on loan was he usually would cheat the press. He would find a nice spot between the midfielder, the defensive midfielder, and the fullback, and just stand there and wouldn't really press. So if he does that against Conte will probably tackle him to the ground, or even more seriously, leave him out of the team. So that's a one thing. Maybe he can go there. It could be a rejuvenation. It could be a new start. Going there, clean slate, and Italian Serie A could do well. And as well, you have a Lukaku there. You have a De Bruyne there, so you have familiar faces. And I think he could really kick on there as well and revive his career. And who knows, you see some fan bases of some Premier League clubs who'll be saying, bring Raheem Sterling. And I tell you, even some Chelsea fans may even be on that list as well. Say, bring, we want him. Because one thing that Antonio Conte doesn't get enough credit for is how he improves players and makes them a lot better. Victor Moses was all set to, be on the steady loan train at Chelsea, but he came and made Victor Moses one of the best right wing backs in the world at that time, helping Chelsea win, the Premier League title. So, and then Fulham being interested, but the one question is, would they be able to, afford his salary? Because I think it's on £300,000+. But if Raheem Sterling is really keen, maybe to remain in London for family reasons, maybe he could take a pay cut, a wage cut. So let's see how that shakes down. And going to Napoli as well, they're in the Champions League. They're in the, of course, they'll also be in the hunt for the Italian Serie A title that they won, last season. So they'll be looking to defend that title. I think that could be a better landing spot for him, footballing wise. But in terms of family and being close to home, staying at Fulham, signing for Fulham could be the better option for Raheem Sterling. But let me know your opinions on that matter. Do you even still see a way back for him at Chelsea? For me, I don't think so. I think that train has left the station, in my humble opinion. Let me know what you think. Now as well, we've heard reports that Chelsea had initially put in a bid for Jorrel Hato, the defender, for Ajax, the left back that can play left centre back, that Chelsea, was interested in. And he's also interested in joining Chelsea. He's also agreed personal terms with Chelsea, and was dropped from, the Ajax squad to play. I think it was his Celtic, I think. And the first bid was rejected by Ajax, and Chelsea have, which is normal. It's very rare occasions where you see clubs accept the initial bids for their players. So Chelsea have gone again to and offered €45 million as a total package for Jorrel Hato. So for me, I think that should be able to get the deal done. But fingers crossed, let's see how that shakes down. I think for Chelsea, that is good business if you're able to get him, because that's one area Chelsea has been unable to take care of. Last season, it was a huge complaint. At least for me, I had an issue with that. You've got Cucurella, who right now is, I would say, top 3 best left backs in the world. And when you talk about left backs that invert or inverting left backs, he is the best in the world. And, he is head and shoulders above others in that left back spot. But the thing is, when he's injured or when he gets suspended, that would always happen. Expect it every season that Cucurella will get suspended. Just expect it. Either he would get booked for dissent, and in that same game get booked for a hard tackle on the player. So it will always happen. Or you could get booked for dissent in one game, and another game get booked for dissent again. And before you know it, you look at rank up. So he always at some point miss some games, and you can never rule out injuries, though you don't really pray for injuries. You don't want any of your players to be injured. Most likely, I don't want Cucurella to be injured, but it does happen. It's kind of part of the game. And when things like that happen, Chelsea don't, last season didn't have a backup. So having Jorrel Hato in the building who can comfortably play left centre back and left back is something that is more than welcome. In fact, it's super needed. I think I speak for every Chelsea fan to say it's super needed. And I think I speak for most Chelsea fans to say Jorrel Hato is a player that we would welcome, that Chelsea should do all it takes to get. And then we go to the final bit of transfer news that I want to talk about. It's another one of those ones where you wonder, where has this come from? Just Derry. It was funny, I was watching Crystal Palace Academy side play game, I think last season. Now saying, possibly, who knows, Chelsea will just make one silly bid at some point and sign this player. Fast forward to present day, forgetting about it, or rather fast forward to yesterday, focusing all about this just everything, obviously thinking about other things. And then whammo, Chelsea have agreed, a long-term deal for the services of just Derry, a winger for Crystal Palace. So, and obviously that's one for the future. Probably he'll get to play for the academy development sides, or maybe he gets loaned out. But then the question is, loaned out to where? I know the name that comes to everyone's lips would be Strasbourg. But let's get this right. Strasbourg is not a boarding school. Strasbourg is also a professional football club. So they have limits of players that they, are required to have in their team that they can register. So you can't just have players and keep throwing them there. Country Pies is there, Mike Penders is also heading there alone. You can't just be tossing players, at Strasbourg. There must be and should be, well planned. So let's see how things continue to develop with respect to this bits of transfer news. So let me know your opinions on the three, transfer topics I've spoken about on the channel. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button and also share this video, share this channel to people you feel will love content such as this. So Up Chelsea TV, and I'll see you on another video. Stay well, stay blessed. Bye bye.